Yeah, you're doing all right. I'm doing fine as well. Hey, are you looking for reparations? Hmm? Are you looking for that great payout? Because for a long time, I've been hearing about the great payout coming, and we have politicians, black politicians, have been beating the tables of when is it coming? Hmm? Do you need it? I'm good. You good. You good. You good. You good. Don't stop. Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say.
Sirwalterj. Sirwalterj.
He's got something to say. Sirwalterj.
Sirwalterj.
Report live, 7 days a week, always on time, but this time is not free. So Walter Jones, always on fleek. Latest trending topics, had you jumping out your seat.
He's got something to say.
Come
Come on in, boys. The water is fine.
Hello, everybody. So I was the Jones Show. Yeah, I'm here. It is the evening edition, baby. How you is water fan, your water fan. I'm tired. I guess that's why I sound the way I do. I sound weird because I'm tired. Yeah. So this is gonna be quick. I'm gonna break a record. Reparations. You need it? I don't need it. Yeah, I can use it if America gave me some money. Yeah. America's giving payouts before, stimulus checks, but everybody got it. Yeah. We got those things. Them stimulus packages, bailout checks. Yeah, we got those. What y'all do with it? You spent it. I remember when that first stimulus check came, I went to Walmart for something. It was probably some food or something. I can't remember what it was. And I saw a line where all of the big screen TVs were. There was a line like it was a Black Friday. The checks had just came, and there was a line for big screen TVs. And I said to myself, now, God, it's amazing how we are this way. We get that money and we spend it. They said that the average tax check from you black folks was spent last year. You knew you was going to get something, and it was gone before you got it. They also said that the average black folks' money, your 2 checks from now, paychecks, is already allotted for. It's gone. It's gone. And it is a disturbing fact. Now, last week I did a show on black people, and I made the analogy of how Hispanics don't like you. They hate you. I talked about Islanders, too. I said they hate y'all. Now, y'all know Sirwalterj Jones throw wide nets to pee y'all off. Y'all know that, right? The Broncos know me. They know me quite well. And I throw these wide nets, and so I use the word hate just to stir y'all up. And boy, did it stir y'all up, and I'm glad it did. Because some of the Jamaicans was in the comment section. Some of y'all who I didn't even know are islanders. We don't hate African Americans. We don't hate y'all. I mean, my best friend is an African American. You know how we are. You say that a white man is a racist. He gonna say, oh no. My best friend is black. my girlfriend's brother's uncle is a black man who worked on our job in the basement. He's the one down there sweeping. Yeah. If I believe that Islanders hated us, there would be a problem at my church because, believe it or not, probably half of the membership at my church are Islanders. And let me tell you, they are some of the sweetest, most beautiful, list outside and inside people I know. And they make up almost half of our church, probably half. They're from Belize, Jamaica, Bahamas, all throughout the island. They're from and they are from Haiti. Some of the greatest folks, sweethearts. They don't hate us. They vehemently dislike us. So I was talking to one the other day. He's on our trustees board. And he was like, yeah, you used the word hate. Me and my wife heard it, and we cringed a little bit. I said, good, I'm glad you cringed. He said, no, we just have a issue with how African Americans are. You live here for generations, and you still haven't come up yet. And yet we come over from the boat, and then we do what we do. Let me tell y'all something. Trinidad in the house. Come on, Kurt Joseph. I know Kurt loves me. I know he don't hate me. Let me tell y'all something about them. They have this thing called partnership, but y'all call it Susu and Looms. Anybody ever heard of those? Well, it started with them. And they have been doing partnerships for a long time. Long time. And when one is in need, or when it's time for this one person, because it's all about a trust thing, and it's just a few of them. Everybody don't do this. It's just a few of them because they know how this work. And when it's time for the downline, it's time for you to get yours, you get yours. And then when you get yours, you're good, and it's time for the next person to get theirs. And it's been working beautifully in that island community. It's based off of trust. They're experts at it. So about a year or 2 years ago, during the pandemic, African Americans decided to bring up the susus and the looms back up. And the susu and the looms been going on in the African American community too, but every time it pops up, we screw it up. And we make it too big, somebody gets hurt. And before you know it, it literally busts open churches and splits churches. And it is it turns into a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme. And it's unfortunate. You see, everything that's a pyramid is not a scheme. Everything, your job, corporate structure is a pyramid. Your jurisdiction is a pyramid. If you're part of a church, talking about church-wise, bishops and the apostle at the top, and prophets, and then superintendents, and then pastors, and elders, and then ministers, it's all pyramids. You understand? So they got it. They know how it works. It's like how investing. I do penny stock, and I do also options in the finance. Well, it's not in the finance room just yet on Patreon, but we're going to be doing that this month, talk about options and penny stock. Well, people look at penny stock as being gambling. Yeah, in many cases, it sure is. But it's only a gamble when you don't know what you're doing. But when you know what you're doing and you're in a community and you know how to invest in it like you do the stock market, it's not a gambling. No. Looms and susus is a gamble because we don't understand that community, and we just brought it into ourselves, and then we screw it up. We screw it up. Look at this. I've been in Susu since I was a teenager, and in 42 now, Susu helps do a lot. See, Kurt Joseph, what I tell y'all. Me and Kurt didn't talk, and he's from Trinidad, because they know how to do that. But Kurt, it came to my church 2 years ago, and it caused so many problems. I'm not talking about among the islanders at my church. I'm talking about from the African Americans at my church. It caused so many problems, they had to stop it because we don't. So black people, again, Africans don't like you. Islanders don't like you. Hispanics don't like you. Asians don't like you. They don't like you for the same reason. And many African Americans don't like African Americans for the same reasons. So this is why I teach on individualism and community or family-oriented teachings. That means don't be joining these groups. Don't be marching with Black Lives Matter. No, listen, you need to pull up your own family by their bootstraps. Build your house first. Let somebody look at your family and envy them. And then one by one start adopting these children. Adopt a father. Adopt a black single mother. Adopt them. Bring them in your family, your house. Teach them how to save and invest. Teach them what is generational wealth. Because if you are waiting on any one of those groups to help you, you are wasting your time. And if you're waiting for America to send you a reparations check, I got some swampland down there in Dishrag, Mississippi that I want to sell you for cheap. All right? Who's interested? Now let me give you some of the stats, okay? Do me a favor. Come close. That was a wonderful gift, by the way. Wonderful gift. In the United States, reparations have been paid. Guess who? To Native Americans. Sure was. They got their reparation. Many of them got their reparation because of what America did. Come over here, and they gave them all kind of stuff. Free health care. They gave them all them casinos, and still, if you talk to a Native American, they still tell y'all, all right, yeah, but there's some pork in there. We did a show with brother Fox, Mr. Phil Fox, and he'll tell you about the whole casino stuff and reparation. Okay, but there are some issues within the Indian or Native American community, the nation, their community, which caused some problems during the payout. That's another story. I have to bring Phil in so we can talk about that because I don't want to talk about anyway. So, but America paid them reparations. Japanese Americans. Y'all remember World War II? They put them in those internment camps. They took them because they were afraid because Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and Roosevelt says we got to sweep them up because we don't want them retaliating Japanese Americans. They put them in those camps. It was the most embarrassing thing that America could have ever done to some people outside of the Native Americans. So Japanese got theirs, and victims of specific injustices like police abuses and forced sterilizations, with some institutions also taking steps to address historical injustices, that is. All right? Native Americans, let's talk about it. Native Americans have received land and billions of dollars for various benefits and programs for being forcibly exiled for their native lands. From, not for. All right? Japanese Americans following World War II, they apologized for the internment of Japanese Americans and provided reparations of $20,000 to each survivor through the Civil Liberties Act 1988. Did y'all know that? Survivors of police abuses in Chicago. I remember this one. Chicago agreed to compensate 57 victims who were subjected to police brutality and also finance the Torture Justice Center and other initiatives to address it. Ooh, that white man, what is his name? Bird. I think the Burge is the police guy, commander, going through the neighborhood, sweeping a black man and putting drugs on him, planting drugs. It was bad, y'all, here in Chicago. Victims of forced sterilization. The state of North Carolina compensated victims of forced sterilization programs in the mid-20s. The Tuskegee experiment, the federal government compensated them for that. Black residents of Rosewood were compensated from the 1923 riots. Some institutions like Virginia Theological Seminary and Princeton Theological Seminaries have earmarked funds to support black seminarians and black worshipers and to make amends for their, ties to slavery. The federal government has also paid compensation to victims of terrorism, wrongful convictions, natural disasters, as coal miners, the farmers, the fishermen, and facing economic hardship. All right? But monies has been paid, you all, to a lot of people. So don't just say that the government didn't do anything. They did some. With some pressure, I will understand. I will agree. They did something. All right? And so we've got to get the right information, thinking that none of this has ever happened. It did. Somebody in your family might have gotten something. All right. You're looking for the great payoff from slavery. Let me tell y'all something. That ain't happening. I don't care who's in office, Democrat or independent. It ain't happening. Reparations for slavery is the application of the concept of reparations to victims of slavery or their descendants. Okay. Let's see if there was anybody paid for slavery. There are concepts for reparations in legal philosophy, reparations in transitional justice. Reparations for slavery have been both given by legal ruling in court, y'all, okay, and or given voluntarily without court ruling by individuals and institutions. Believe it or not. Now, white slave owners were the first ones to receive a bailout. A type of reparations. White slave owners got theirs first. The first recorded case of reparations for slavery in the United States was the former slave Belinda Royale. You ever heard of her? In 1783, you never heard of that, have you? In the form of a pension. And since then, reparations have continued to be proposed. To the day no federal reparations bill has been passed. In the 1865 Special Fields Order number 15, 40 acres and a mule is the most well-known attempt to help newly freed slaves integrate into society and accumulate wealth. However, Andrew Johnson killed that bill, giving the land back to its Confederate owners. There was the payoff right there. That belonged to you, there it was. It has been recurring idea, most recently in the 2020 Democratic Party, blah, blah, blah. The call for reparations intensified in 2020 amidst the protests against police brutality in the COVID-19, killing black Americans disproportionately, call for reparations for racism, discrimination, and George Floyd, and on and on. I'm sorry to tell y'all, it's not happening. Come close. It's not happening. I don't care who's in office. You ain't getting it. So what do you do about it? You gonna sit around and wait while you spend up all your money? You're going to sit around and wait while you continue to use the credit cards, while the credit card companies, which are the banks, are making trillions of dollars on charging you all these fees, high fees for using cards. Those fees are up in 20, 25, 26, 27% interest rate. And so what's happening is you're supposed to act like the credit card companies are acting towards you. You should act like the car companies act towards you, of those of you who are sitting down at the table and you're getting ready to buy a car, whether it's new or used, and then you let them talk you into a 7-year contract, paying for an asset that depreciated as soon as you drove it off the lot, and it continues to become worth garbage, and you will pay twice what is owed because you're paying compound interest on it, and you wonder why. This car cost $20,000 when you got through paying it. It cost $40,000 in interest. Ask me how I know. You need to act like the man. You need to act like the corporation. You need to act like the institution by paying yourself high interest rates, because that the credit card company is making money off of you not paying your bill on time. Just pay the bare minimum. Right now, buy now, pay later companies like Karma and these other companies are now teaming up with DoorDash, so that you can now buy that burger on what's called time. You can finance your burger now. You buy now, Karma will pay for the burger, and then you pay over time in 4 easy payments. And you're gonna, which means what it causes you to do is buy more. So you're hungry, so you would typically buy just the burger if you're gonna pay cash for it right now. But because Karma came together and decided to team up with you, you're not just gonna buy the burger, you're gonna buy the fry and the drink and a hot apple pie, and you're going to tell the driver to stop off at Walgreens and pick up some Pampers as well. And then Carmen said, we'll pay the bill as long as you pay the payments. And then you're going to pay the payments, and then you're going to say, I can pay the minimum, and I'll just, and then they're banking on you not paying on time or pay it off or after the time is allotted for you so that they can collect the high interest. Good to see you, Jeffrey Thomas. I just got through talking about you. Paying the high end. That's how you continue to get yourself in more debt. Before you know it, you've got an $8,000 credit card bill. You looking for reparations? Man, listen. You're going to be looking for reparations until your great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter is born. And she's going to look back at your history and say, my great-great-great-great-great-grandmama looking for reparations, please. Man, we ain't getting none of that stuff. I will gladly pay you Wednesday for a burger today. we ain't listen. Y'all, you're wasting your time. Financing a burger, Nathan. That's what we literally doing. As funny as that sound, if you had told me this, we were going to finance a burger. If you had told me this just a few years ago, I would have laughed you out of whatever you in. But we're doing that right now. Isn't it sad? Yes. So we need personal financial classes so that we can stop spending. Every time we see something, charge it. We got to stop, y'all. We got to stop. And then you mad at the government because the government do some stuff? Listen, I ain't mad at Donald Trump. Oh, man, I brought his name up again. Now that I brought his name up, at least 3 people are going to say, I knew the show wasn't going to end without him bringing up Donald Trump. But I'm talking good about him. I'm not mad at that man. I am not mad at Donald Trump whatsoever because elections have consequences. And the lack of voting have consequences. It is what it is. I ain't mad at him. He's president. Y'all put him in there. He do what he do. All right? So which should tell you should do what you do. Bring your spending in. You got to do it because one day you're going to get to an age where you can't hardly move. You understand? You can't move. You can't work. You can't do anything. And you're going to, if you got children, you're going to be relying on your children to take care of you. I don't want that for you, and I don't want that for me. I want my children to be able to take care of me because I've given them or left them enough money so that they could dig into the generational wealth that I have left them so that they could take care of me in case I am wheelchair bound or I'm but I'm about to say bedside Baptist. I'm in the bed, I can't move. I may not be able to talk. I may have had a stroke. I may have had some kind. I might have had a heart attack. I may have anything, something like that. And I can't work anymore. I can't do the Sirwalterj Jones show anymore. What have you? Now my children got to take care of me. If they do, they will be taking care of me from my own work, my own efforts. And I'm not talking about some whole life insurance either. I'm talking about the monies and the investments and all of the streams that I put together, all the investments that I have in the stock market and all my savings, and all the stuff that I've put away, my Roth and my 401ks, all this stuff, that they can say, thank God, Dad took care of himself and he took care of us. Thank you, Daniel. I couldn't say it. Try doing this show every day. Bedridden. It's really simple to say that, isn't it, Daniel? All right. So you all got to think about that. What are you doing for yourself? I don't care how old you are. What are you doing? How have you prepared yourself? Some of you started late. That's okay. Go to the finance room, patreon.com, the Sirwalterj Jones Show. Go in there and go to the finance room. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos on what you should be doing right now to help yourself. There are tragic things that have happened to some of us that we didn't know was coming. George Burney have stories of what things that happened to him and his wife. Tragic stories, things that happened financially, stuff that was above, their control. And it is easier now for us to be scammed. There are, especially those of us who are in cryptocurrency, these guys are so good at taking your coins because they know that we are new to it. We're retailers. We're not watching what we're doing. We're not doing two-step verifications, and they're working their way around that too. We are not vigilant enough. We're not secure enough. Somebody go slide in our DMs and act like they're Shirley or Gail or Gregory, and they are so good at cloning social media accounts, and then we hit the come on in button, and then they come on in and take everything. We're sloppy. We put all of our valuables, like our bank, our passwords, and all this stuff on our phones and on our laptops and stuff like that. And then we go to Wi-Fi. We at a restaurant or we at a airport, and we plug into an unlocked Wi-Fi, and then somebody's walking by. We put our credit cards in our back pockets and our purses, and we don't put them behind the chips, the RFID thingy chips, okay? Our cars now are all computerized and chip-based, and we don't buy the protective chips for our cars, and then you go outside after you done shop, and you got all these bags, and then your car is gone because somebody was able to, hack the thing. You can't shop nowhere, all right? So hackers are really good. And you don't change your passwords enough, and you use these easy passwords by using your name plus 1, 2, 3, 4, silly stuff like that. I got an email from somebody who who said they were Coinbase, which is where some of my cryptocurrency is, and they said, hey, you need to change your do something. Oh, you got to verify this. We have locked your Coinbase, but you got to hit this link so that you can go in. So this is for our security reasons, and then blah, blah, blah. And I saw that. It looked like a Coinbase email. It had the Coinbase thing at the bottom, the website and all that stuff. And me knowing how this worked, as genuine as it looked, I said to myself, Walter, don't be a fool and hit that. Go to the top and look at what the email address is. And I opened up the email address, and it had one of them zvlr2qpron.com, blah, blah, blah. I said, this is not Coinbase. And this is so easy. I would have hit that link. It would have sent me over there, and they got me. And everything that I did over there would have been recorded. And then I would have lost my Coinbase account and lost all my coins. This is how easy they hack you all. And you all are easy like Sunday morning. And we do, right? Because we live in this jacked up world. All right, scammers, watch out for the scammers going after older folks using laptops and phones. And my own grandmother, when she was alive, got hacked by, taken by an African prince. Y'all remember them emails that you would get from Ethiopia and all these other places? Where was the most famous place from Africa where they would send those things? And I even got, almost got hacked because I was young and foolish, and I saw that and said, yeah, listen, if we trying to get back home from blah, 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 and I am the son of a prince of blah, 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 and we give you $1 million if you send us blah, all this stuff. When email was kind of fresh, man, listen, I almost went for that stuff. But I was poor. I had nothing, so I couldn't even give nothing. But my grandmother got hit by that stuff, and I think she got hit a couple times because, she was so kind-hearted and so loving, and she was just trying to help somebody. and Nigeria and Kenya. Yeah, Sam and Social. Yeah, Nigerian princess. How many of y'all got those emails and you still get them today? So you got to be careful. They are more smarter now. They're more savvy now, and they're intelligent. They know you. AI is they're using AI now to get to you. They know how you eat, how you drink, what time you get up, what time you go to bed, what have you. And they're in your email right now, and you don't even know it. You didn't change it, and the thing is saying that your email has been found on the dark web. And when you see that, you ignore it, don't you? Yes, you do. And they're in your email, reading your emails, and that's why you wonder why you're getting emails from things that you had just looked at yesterday. You just looked at it 5 minutes ago, and now an email pop up because they're in there. They know you. They track your moves, okay? Some of it is not that they stole your password. Others is that there's software that tracks you, and what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for those of you who understand how websites work and how promotions work and what have you. It's a word that's going to come to me. Anyway, if you ever been on, let's say, Amazon and you saw a particular thing that you were just looking at, and then you decide not to buy it. So what you do is now you're on Google, or you could be on Facebook, and that same item pops up on your Facebook wall. You're like, I was just on Amazon looking at that. It's repurposing. It tracks you, and these algorithms know where you're going. Cookies do it. That's right. The algorithm do it too, but I think it's called repurposing. And I, as an advertiser, use repurposing to follow people around so they can see my product. So it works for the good, but also works for the bad. You understand? Natalie Brown, good to see you. So you got to be careful, and I'm hoping targeting. Thank you, Sharon. It is targeting. It's repurposing and retargeting. Both are the same thing, but in different structures. Okay, retargeting. And it works brilliantly for those who know how to work the system. Thanks for sharing the story earlier. Terry and I were taken for $420,000. We were actually down $93. Somehow God kept us, and he never let us. Can you imagine losing that kind of money, y'all? That's a whole life savings. So you got to be careful in this social climate, political climate that we're in, because many of us are being hacked by Russia, by North Korea, by China, and then by those who live right here in America, and even those in Africa. We've been hacked, that we've been watched, and they know, you all can be shopping on Wayfair and Temu and all these other sites where you get all this 50% off, 25%, blah, blah, blah. You go there and you think it's a legitimate person, like on eBay and what have you, and before you know it, they take you. They have so good at taking you for everything, because they know America. You all are gullible to the bone. We just love everything, and that's how the preacher have gotten us caught up in these cultish services and denominations and these little setups, because they know we are gullible, and this is how we got hit. 911. That's how we got hit. We trained those men to fly our airplanes, and then they flew them into the towers, flew them into the Pentagon, and flew them into that field. We trained them. So the warfare in America, monkey moves, fishing is another way. Fishing is, man, in America, the warfare is not going to happen with bombs falling on us. The next war is going to happen the way it's happening right now. I got a friend request from someone posing as Sirwalterj Jones. Yeah, Elaine, and I get them all the time. Posing as Larry Jones, posing as Rodney Jones. I get stuff like that all the time. When you see it, it's easy to check, especially Instagram. Instagram always is sending y'all friend requests from people like us. it's easy to check them out because all you got to do is look at their friends list. And if you see something coming from me and it'll say this person got 5 friends, or it'll say this person, Facebook at least now changed it where it says that this person have set up a new account. You know what I mean? The fact that I'm talking about money right now, there will be trolls in the comment section talking about Sally Ann helped me when I needed help with this. You know, they'll bring up a crypto thingy, and when you look at it, it'll have 50, 60, 70 comments up under that, and you be wondering, why there's 50, 60 comments under this one comment here about Sister Eddie May help me with my something that's going to be financed? Because those are hackers. And they are good at it. And they want you to read up on Sister Melier. And you're like, who is this Sister Melier? And there's going to be a link, and you're going to hit that link, and you're going to go over there, and you're going to lose your shirt. Sirwalterj Jones never ask you for no money. I do not send you links. I don't do none of that stuff, all right? It is the world we live in right now. Sad part of you, Facebook will not delete it because they will look at it as not going against community rules. They won't get rid of it. So you got to do your own diligence. The hacker got me with the credit cards. Now I pay cash for everything. Denise Williams, you got to do what you got to do to save yourself. Troy Johnson, I love you. I love you. There's only one Sirwalterj. All right? I will never be in your inbox. I will never be sliding in your DMs. I will never initiate conversations with y'all. I just don't do it. I don't do it. I don't need to do it. My brother Larry don't do it. My brother Rodney don't do it. And I get Rodney's. I get his. He is a moderator, not a moderator. What they call it? Over my Facebook, the Sirwalterj Jones Show. All right, because just in case a hacker go in there and remove me from my own, I can go to Rodney Jones and he can restore me back to my own account because I'm a moderator on his Facebook, administrator. That's the word, administrator on his. And so he had lost his Facebook, and he had to contact me so I can let him back in. So you need to have a administrator. If you're on Facebook, you need to have an administrator that you can trust on your accounts, because you could lose it if you're not careful. You could lose it. But doing that also, you're gonna see, the messages. I see my brother's messages, those messages that they slide in his DM, and I'm not talking about on the personal Facebook. I'm talking about on the business Facebook. All right, on my personal Facebook, there I don't have an administrator there. It's just me. All right, but on the business Facebook, the Sirwalterj Jones Show, he can see the messages, and on his Rodney Jones Sunday School, I can see all of his private messages. And let me tell you, y'all think I get hackers? Y'all think I get these trolls and these women who are trying to come after your draws, my draws? Trust me, they're coming after his draws too. Thank God for salvation. I see the messages, and he see mine. So if you all want, some women have sent me some stuff over there, Sirwalterj Jones Show. He sees it. It's called accountability. So you can't say that I'm over there having all these kind of sexy conversations. He sees them. The scammers have created emails with my name now and sending it. Wow, ain't that something, Lydia? It's good to see you, Lydia. Long-time friend. Long-time dear friend. Good to see you. A guy at my job fell for the Nigerian prince. He had a heart attack. Woo! Wow, Eugenia. This thing is real, y'all. It's real. I learned from the chain mail. Oh, man, the chain mail. Oh, my God. Yes, the chain mail. I did that chain mail crap when I was young and stupid. I did it. Let me tell you. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Put that dollar in there and that chain thing. I did that crap. I can laugh at it right now. But we know the real. All right, there's only one. Connie Williams, I love you. I appreciate you. some Carolyn Robinson. Carolyn Robinson, are you here? You sent me something in the PO box. I don't know. You could have emailed me. You could have emailed me because but you didn't send me your phone number or email. I don't know how to return your message other than I have to mail you back. You said I've been receiving lots of messages through my cell phone for some time now. There's no names attached. I'm not sending messages. I would like to have the pleasure of speaking with you. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're watching, Carolyn, but my email address readily available, Sirwalterj1, Sirwalterj1 at gmail.com. Carolyn Robinson. Let's talk, but it ain't me sending no messages. I don't do that. I have a brand to protect. I am the brand. And my reputation means more to me than anything. You understand? So I do not solicit you all anything. Once the show shuts down, I shut down. And you can find me either on Sirwalterj Jones Show or you can find me on Patreon. Other than that, I don't want you. I don't come after you. I don't send you no private messages, none like that. I just don't do it. You can reach out to me, but I just don't do it. I got too much to uphold, and I have too much to lose. I can lose everything. You just might lose something here, there, but you don't have the platform I have, so I lose more. So I have to be careful. All right? So be careful, y'all. Secure yourselves as much as you can. As much as you can. Yes, Zelle scammers. I put that on Patreon. Zelle scammers, and the government's going after these banks who set up the Zelles because they're good at it. And you're gonna get a phone call from somebody. The bank that you would think is the bank is gonna send you a text on email and say, hey, somebody's trying to blah blah blah, and then you're gonna think it's the bank, and then you're gonna call that number back, and then they're gonna have you to send money to resecure your account, and once you send that money, and they do it through Zelle. All right, you guys gotta be careful. You have to be careful. All right, this is your money we talking about. So African Americans, you looking for reparations? Stop looking. Pay yourself. When you get your monies, pay yourself. Be smart, like the Trinidadians, I don't know how you say it, the Jamaicans, the Bahamians, the Tobagos, and be smart like them. If you got a community, find a community that you can trust, and they know how to come together, and they know how to structure it where they could really build up their community and keep it sustained. They don't worry about marching with Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. They don't do that because they take care of their own in their own communities. And y'all laugh at them because they got 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, and all this stuff. But let me tell you, they are secured. Their monies are secured. And their children's children are fine. Meanwhile, we who lived here for generations are waiting on the government to help us because of what happened a couple 100 years ago. Not me. I'm sorry to tell you, I build up my own. I teach my children, Trinidadians. Thank you, Sam. I trained and taught my children on financial responsibility. My son is doing fine. My son runs a what do you call it? Where you rent out your place. That thingy in Atlanta. He's doing pretty good over there. And he don't own the place. He rent the place, and then he rent the lower portion, and it pays his rent. And then he ups it, obviously, so that it doesn't just pay his rent, but it pays him to live off of. Plus his other businesses that he have. Airbnb, yeah, that. All right? And my daughter is a hustler. And I sit with her and I teach her investing and cryptocurrency and what have you, and we are training her on options and penny stocks, so she will not have to work a 9 to 5 and hustle and get another job because she's trying to take care of those babies. Now, thank God she do have a gentleman Chuck Sr. Is a good father, and he takes care of those babies. All right. So I thank God for, even though they're not married, he is a very present and financial responsible young man. All right. But I taught my daughter, I raised her up to be independent. And this part here upset women, especially those who are. I raised her to be independent just in case a man never comes along. So that you can have your own. Your credit score should be high. You should have money saved up. You should have money invested. If a man never comes along, and if a man do come along, you still should have all those things, because unfortunately, you all come together and that thing don't work out. Now you're up under a man who's got everything. Everything's in his name, and if he lose his job, you both lose. If he walk away from you, you both lose. You need to have your own. When y'all come together, y'all can do some sharing, but let me tell you, my mama always had something in her breast purse. And sometimes daddy had to come home and say, Mama, can I borrow? All right, baby, you can borrow, but you got to get his back. Yeah, they had joint accounts, and they both of their names might have been on the house and all that other stuff. Okay, my father took care of everything, but you best believe when daddy brought the check home, mama pulled a little bit for herself and put it in her breast purse, or she hid it up under the drawer. She had a hiding place, and daddy would come home because she done paid all the bills and he took care of all the expenses and all that stuff, and now he's broke. And then guess who went? He didn't have to go to his friends and all that stuff all the time for money. He knew to go to his wife for a bailout. That's the way I'm raising my daughter. If that young man need a bailout for legitimate reasons, for the good of the children, he should have to go to you. Y'all in this thing together. Baby girl, go in your breast purse. Give him a bailout, but he got to pay that back. I don't care what you people are saying, that might have been bad advice. Whatever worked for your house, you better do it. But my daughter, don't worry. And my daughter, don't ask me for money. Don't beg me. She not trying to figure out what am I going to do this week. No. My daughter, although she lives here, she is very self-sufficient. And she is based off of her working. She's a businesswoman. She's on her phone. She's on a computer. She's reading a book. She's constantly pouring into the knowledge in her head, because she knows the older those kids get, the more expensive they're getting. Those diapers cost a certain amount of money right now, but as that boy, the baby grow bigger, his clothes gonna cost more, his needs are gonna be more and more and more and more. Before you know it, they're on their way off to college. All right, so by the time those children turn the age of college, she will have enough money to foot the bill for 4 years for both of those kids. You understand? We don't have to go to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and all these guys and go to I don't want her going to the banks to borrow money for no more new cars. I don't want them to go to the bank for these loans because you need this. No more of that. Cash, cash, cash. And if you don't have the cash to pay for it, you can't afford it. I will never buy another new car by 5, 6, 7 years, and that ain't ever happening again. Not happening. And the car that I just bought, because the one I had it just finally clocked out on me. It just couldn't do what I needed to do. I gave it to I gave it to her man. I gifted it to him. I said, if you can fix it, you can have this car. This is a good car. I took good care of it. But I went down there to CarMax. I said, listen, I want that car. I know it's high. I said, but here's what I'm going to do. I don't want no 5, 6 years. No, I'm going to pay this off in 2 years. 2 years, you understand? Because I'm not paying them high interest or what have you. I'm not paying all that stuff. I'm not doing it. And I'm going to double up, triple up these payments. All right? So I got a plan. But I said, but this the last time I'm going to ask y'all for help. I'll never come in here and ask y'all for help again. The next time I come in here, if this car and I done had it for so many years, when I come in here again, I am giving you cash for that car. You understand? Not doing that no more. Makes no sense for me to teach the way I teach right now, and then I got to go and be begging for stuff. I can see if it's time for me to buy a house. I get it. It's gonna cost me $500,000 for the house that I may need. I get it. Go to the bank for that, but you best believe it ain't gonna be no 30-year mortgage. Not I. I will pay that house off within 5 to 10 years, and 10 years is a max. That's a max. I'll have a 5-year plan for a house like that. Not doing that no more. I think about these rich folks, and we can really repeat what they do. And they save money on taxes and all this stuff. And we crying about taxes, we crying about this, and we crying about high this, and the eggs is high, all this stuff. Them folks ain't crying because they got the money. Well, there are ways and there are loopholes that we can do as well. You know, in the stock market right now, being a retailer, they are trying to squeeze us out. You know, those of you who bought some XRP and you bought some Ethereum and you bought some Bitcoin and you bought all maybe some Pepe and some Dogecoin and all this stuff, and you see that it's all crash and burn. You're like, man, Walter, what, man, Uncle Stud and all these other content creators, man, y'all told us about this stuff and it ain't doing nothing. Well, it's because you don't understand. They don't want you in there. They never wanted you in there, and the market is being manipulated right now to whereas you look like they want you to see that what you invested in is worth nothing. You bought the coin, you got in late, you paid $2.70 for it. Now it's down to $2.13, and it's been this way for a while. You're like, man, this is a scam. Let me tell you, soon as you decide to sell, that coin's gonna go up to $4-5. And you're going to be like, oh, man, I should have, because you are an emotional investor. Stay your butt in there. They squeeze you out. These whales, they call them, and institutions, they got millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they push that coin down. Why? Y'all ever heard of a GameStop? Do your research. They push that coin down so far, and then you think, oh, man, this thing ain't worth nothing. Okay. All right. XRP now down to $2.08. $2.08, man, shoot. That will scare any retail investor who don't know what they're doing. $2.08, it will scare you, but for me, it's going to make me, entice me to find some money under my couch cushions and buy it. Why? It's on sale. It's on sale. So when you don't know these things, you will always go around the mulberry bush crying, I ain't got this, and we lost this, and we wasn't patient enough for this, and then it becomes a gamble. But when you're with a community who's been down this road for a generation and they know how this works, then stick with them. Stick with them. And it doesn't mean that something's not going to fail, because things do fail. We get it. Things do fail. We're in a time that we've never seen before. But at least get your behind in something, because you can't become wealthy working a 9 to 5. You just can't. You can't. You have to be immortal, to pay off some of these mortgages. I'm trying to tell you, you got to start small. Dollar cost average has the same strength as someone who's putting just $20 away every time they get paid. Over time, you've got hundreds of dollars saved up. And you wonder, wow, that's all it takes? Yes, that's all it takes. The journey of 1,000 miles is one step at a time. Before you know it, you're there. Sometimes I drive to Atlanta, Georgia, and I look at, it takes 10, 11, 12 hours for me to drive there to just go see my grandbaby and my son. And sometimes I'm tired. I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be a long drive. And I get in that car, and then I turn on some good preaching, some good teaching. I turn on some songs that really take me to a place. You know, I turn on a audio book, and you know, I call somebody on the phone, and we talk for 2-3 hours and all that stuff. And then I look up And I realized I've been driving for 6 hours. Gone like that. I think, wow, I was just tired. I just got on the road saying, man, this is going to be a long travel. And I'm already halfway in my travels. That's how investing is. That's how saving is. You just do a little bit, don't focus on it. You put a little bit away, don't go look at it. I don't invest and put money away and then I got to look at it. Now, I'm into penny stocks, yes. I'm into options, yes. You got to kind of look at that stuff. But if you're just investing for the long haul, I put that money in my Fidelity account and don't look at it. The market crash, good. I'm going to buy some more. The market rise, good. Let it do what it do. I'll buy a little less. DCA, that's what it's called. I don't look at it. I don't look at it. And then over time, over several months, then I'll go and look at my balance. Oh, man, I done made $6,000 within a short period of time. Not looking at it every day. If you on your job, sitting at your desk, and you clock out at 4 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock now, and you're sitting at your desk. If you keep looking at your clock from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it's going to take a long time for you to get off work. It's only 2 hours, right? But those 2 hours going to turn into 5 and 6 because you keep looking at your watch. How many of y'all experienced that? So to kill time is to not pay attention to time. Whenever I had a job, I didn't look at the clock every time, trying to figure out what time 5 o'clock was going to happen. No, I worked by the project. I got so involved in that project. I put my heart in that project. I was thinking about, man, I'm going to do this project so well. The boss is going to love what I just do here. And I'm so busy picking up the phone. I'm doing all this stuff. And all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 4:30. 4:30 already? Dang, I just got started in this project because I work by the project, not the time. You keep worrying about the time, and the time goes slow. So when I travel out of town and I'm driving, I know I got to do a long drive, I don't keep looking at that clock. I psych myself out. I look somewhere else. I get on the phone. I do all kind of stuff. And before you know it, 3-4 hours and pass by. I'm like, whoa. You understand? That's how investing work. That's how savings work. You've got to do what works for you. Do y'all understand? Next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock, Gregory. So invest, save, get you a high-yielding offline, meaning online account, but not brick and mortar. You're getting 3 and 4% interest rates on the emergency money that you put away. Put it in something that gets in high interest on it. Don't ever save in an envelope and let it sit there for forever, because all it's doing is losing its value, because there is no hedge against the inflation. The inflation is eating up your little money in your envelope. Put that in a bank and let the bank pay you for putting it in their house. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. Do you understand? Think like a wealthy man. Stop being lazy. Stop being shiftless. Stop having this sense of entitlement. Stop begging the government for whatever. Do what you need to do for your house. Don't worry about Black Lives Matter and all these communities. Just do what you can for your residence where you live. And I guarantee you, when you get enough, find a family and pour into that one family. You can't help everybody. One family. This is how you need to operate. That's what the islanders do. They find one family and they pour into that, and then that family finds another family. That's how the Hispanics work. They are buying up everything in my community. Hispanics. It's 60 of them live in a house, and they are working together to get that one family out the house. And that one family gets out the house and make it. Then that one family then does the same thing, move folks into their house and start the process all over. Meanwhile, the 60 people in that one house, that one family moved out, another family moves in, because that one house is the portal. It's the building block. It's the foundation where people go in there, get fed, get built up generationally, and then they go out and they buy up stuff in your neighborhood. So they don't like you because you don't know how to do that. You used to do it through your grandmother and your grandfather. Madia did that. Madia and granddaddy owned property. They knew how it worked. The problem was they did not pass it down to the next generation because they were too busy trying to protect the next generation, so they didn't show us where the dead bodies are. So they was too busy coddling us, and then we didn't learn anything, so now we're learning stuff on our own. You've got to go back to how they thought. You go down to Atlanta on Auburn Street, where all of those houses are. Martin Luther King and all of those civil rights leaders live on that street right there. I took a little thing, a little walk and tour down up and down them streets, and those were not poor people. They were upper middle class, and some of them were wealthy up and down that street. Why? They did this on their own. That mentality almost died in our communities. Died with this generation, Generation X. It died with the millennials, died with Gen Zs. And we've got to go back and build it back up. How do we do it? Not marching and not joining all these other groups. No, your house need personal responsibility for your residents, and then you go and adopt another family and teach them your ways. Because Elisha sat up under Elijah. It wasn't a whole bunch of them. It was just them two, and he gleaned from him. And he says, give me a double portion. Elijah says, well, if you are right here when I'm taken up, you'll get it. And he was right there, and he saw him being taken up, and he got it. Elisha got double for his trouble. You understand? So let it start in your home. Don't trust your church. Your church can't tell you nothing about generational wealth. No, they're too busy trying to get your tithes and your orphans, and they're turning you upside down and shaking you like that. No, turn that crap off. Support your church the best way you can with your finances, but don't let them get that money from compulsion. Don't let them restrain you. Don't let them close the doors on you. No. You should be building up your wealth at home. Study. Watch YouTube channels or go to patreon.com, go into the finance room, and let's build each other up. One family at a time. So God, we thank you. We sure do love you. We appreciate what you've done with the people here. I think they got it. The message is seared in their hearts, and I believe they're going to take it home and teach it to their posterity. We love you, God, and we give your name the praise in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen. We'll see you tonight, y'all, in the critical thinking class. Critical thinking class tonight. In about 2 more minutes, it's getting ready to drop. It's a good one, y'all. You got to go to the upper room for that. All right? That's $12. It's a good one. And I cannot wait to see your responses on it. We are looking at the movie called Adolescent on Netflix. Part 3, just a little portion of it, not the whole movie. Adolescent. And then I want y'all to give me what you see, and it should be real good. Take care, y'all. See you tomorrow. Immigration has always been a problem in America.
You're poor.
Who did it start with? The Native Americans. You dig, you will find the bones of slaves. Racism was and is the fabric, the foundation, the ground that we walk on. African Americans got here because, somebody came over to the house and grabbed us, and said, listen, I want you to work for me for free. And we were sold by our own people. Y'all know the history. Some of the history books are saying that slavery was needed because we were savages. And there are those over in the white evangelical community who are saying that if it wasn't for the white man, that Christianity would not have been inside of us. We would know who Jesus Christ is because the gospel was spread starting here in America.
Perhaps people who had no other opportunity, working for a gentle, caring, loving master was the best of all possible worlds.
It's really sad.
4 Women That Men Desire by Sirwalterj is a women's guide to men. The authors endeavor to expose men fundamentally with his perspective on the types of women that men truly desire. He has meticulously penned a brilliant and controversial read, bold in its assertion that all women fall into one of 4 categories. Girl A, the side chick. Girl B, the mistress. Girl C, his soulmate. Or Girl D, his fatal attraction. And when a woman walks into a room, her category is showing. The 4 Women That Men Desire is funny, informative, and enlightening. It is a quick read and a must-have for your library. Head over to Amazon.com for your copy.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?